You might have seen me wear this sweater already in some of the other videos, but I really like this sweater, so that's why I'm wearing it again. Okay, today is February 7th, yes. Quiero hablar about this guy that I met. I was on my way to talk to a guy from the police department, and I was early. This was downtown, so I went to a gallery, an art gallery that was nearby, and I parked the car, y cuando estaba saliendo I blocked it, whatever. I heard this guy kind of like yelling excited, talking to another person, yelling across the street saying, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for a job and I just got this other one, so I'm trying to get another one as well." I was like, "Oh, you guys hardworking." I went into the gallery, had trouble getting in because one of the doors wasn't working, and then the other door said to go to the one that wasn't working, so it's a bit confusing. Pero entré and I was looking at the artwork, and the same guy walks in and he starts looking at the artwork, and that's when I was able to get a better glimpse of him. He was carrying this backpack that had some really nice drawings on it. Like, that's pretty cool. I wonder where he bought it. He was tatted. He had some sleeves. I was wondering what was the story behind those tattoos, and the guy in general. Pero he started looking at some of the artwork, and he was on one side, I was on another. And then there was this one piece of artwork that was hanging on the wall that I couldn't stop looking at, because it was the diary of the dad of the artist. So he was in the diary. It was like it sounded more of like one of those motivational books that you read, where it tells you where you need to do better, and kind of more like going deeper into certain types of thinking, and I don't know, it was just very very deep. And at the time I didn't know that it was the diary of the father of the artist, so I asked the volunteer that was in there, and she told me that it was the diary, and I was like, wow, that's some pretty deep stuff. So that's when the guy walked up too. Excuse me. The guy walked up, and he just started talking to me, which I thought was weird. Not in the sense that, he started talking to me, but the fact that he was the one that initiated the conversation between us, when it's usually, I'm not trying to give myself credit here or anything, but it's usually me that tries to initiate a conversation with somebody. And it was, after that it just rolled on. Like, I was asking the questions on how, like, the things that he was telling me, which that's usually I guess normal for me. Pero he told me that during the whole time we were there, I was listening him talk to the volunteer, saying that he had some portfolios, and that he would like to bring it into the gallery for people to look at, and how he was asking about how he would go about putting it up, and the lady was telling him, and this and that. So anyway, he came up to me, and like we started talking about the artwork, And then I don't know how we even got into this, but he told me how he had come here from from Stillwater. He was studying graphic design in Stillwater and dropped out because of a girl, and then ended up here in Oklahoma City because of a friend that told them they had a place here to stay. They were staying with the friend's dad, and the friend's dad got mad at his son, the friend, and then the dad kicked them both out. So when he went to go, the guy that I met, he went to go pick up his check. I guess they were sharing the same mailing address at the time. He went to go pick up his check from the place that he had been working, and the friend took the check. So he had been living in the homeless shelter that was nearby in the area for a couple of days now, and he was just talking about how he was trying to get a job, and how the homeless shelter, if you have a job, they let you stay there for a little longer. And that was because he told me that because I had asked him how long he's allowed to stay in there. This is because I asked him this because I had already been to that homeless shelter to do some photo stuff with them. So I was just kind of wondering myself. Otra cosa. He just started telling me all this, and finally, like right when I was leaving, I asked his name, what his name was, and he was like, Hugo. And I was like, huh. I was thinking, like, Hugo is usually a Spanish name, Latin name. So I asked him what his last name was, and I don't remember what he told me. But he said I forgot what it sounded like, but he said it was Portuguese, and I asked him if he spoke Portuguese, or I asked him if he was from Brazil, because he speaks Portuguese. No, he was like, I'm actually from Portugal. And I was like, oh really? He's like, yeah, my parents were from over there. And I was like, oh well, how old? This is when, you know, that whole mentality of immigration starts coming in. How old were you when you got here? And he was like, I was 6 years old. I was adopted. I was adopted. And then the family that was fostering him were abusive, so he went from foster home to foster home. And I mean, that's how he is where he is now. I feel like I'm straying from what I'm trying to say, pero I don't know, it just seemed like despite all the crap, I guess, that has happened to him, he still had this walk about him, this talk about him, this personality about him, that he really, I mean, was just going with the flow with in relation to, I mean, whatever happened to him, it's in the past now, and he's just moving forward. So I really liked that about him, but maybe meet him again someday, or maybe it would be a big hit in the art world, but we'll see. I think that's all I had for today, for this week. This week has been kind of crazy, just a bunch of thoughts, and don't know how to put them down, pero I'm cutting it off on this one with this guy. That was pretty cool. Anyway, talk to you later, or video log later.